So in the previous part, we have made this server folder and initialized our REST API completely. And the first part was this design part. So I am opening my VS Code here in the parent directory. And first of all, I will change the name of our starter pack as client. So now we can easily see that this is our server side belongs to REST API and this is our front end part. Okay. Now in the previous part, I just found that we have messed up our login and sign up page. So I am going to initialize my client side. So cd client and here write yarn start. Also, I am running my server side by side. So making another terminal and cd server, and here write npm start. So our server is running and here our client side is also running successfully. Now let's just close the terminal, and inside the client side I am going to the pages and then inside the auth.jsx. So here I am first of all going to make some changes. Instead of making this login component, I am just deleting this and I am going to my sign up this and just copy the entire div, copy this and paste this just below the web name. So here it is, and I should make a comment so we can easily find out. Here this will be the right side and this is going to be the left side with the logo, just like this. Okay, now I can easily just remove this login function. I am just going to delete this. So let's just delete this like this. Okay, as you remember, we have to render both the login and the sign up page. So for this reason, here I am going to make a use state const is sign up and their set is sign up, and this is going to be the use state. So inside the use state at the start it will be false. Okay, so this means if is sign up is false, then we are rendering our login page. So here I am going to declare a condition. I will say is sign up is true, then render sign up text like this, and if it is false then render login like this. Okay, so now let's save this and have a look. Okay, so I should also change inside the app.js. Here inside the app.js, instead of this I should delete this of course. Okay, so just delete this and make this out of comment. Let's save, and here see we have the login text because our condition is according to is sign up variable. The first name and last name fields are required when we have to render the sign up form. So in the login form it is not required, so I will say is sign up true. So just make to ampersand sign, and I am just copying this div completely, Control X, and then here Control V, and of course I have to make this div inside the condition. Let's format the code. Okay, now let's save and see. So we have no first name and last name inside our login form. Similarly, we don't want this confirm password field, so I will go to the confirm password field, and again just make a condition is sign up true, then ampersand, and this will lie inside the condition. Let's save this and see. Here we don't have our confirm password field. Now our last task is to change the text of this sign up button because there should be now login. So again here there will be a condition which is saying is sign up, then there will be the, and don't panic, I am going to guide you step by step of Redux stored setup. Let's get started. So basically in Redux state management, we have all our states, basically the global states in a store. These states are stored by the reducers. Means the state of type 1 will be stored in reducer 1, the type 2 will be in reducer 2, and so goes on. The next question is how these reducers get the state. These reducers seek for a specific action to change or to make a new global state. And following this pipeline, the action can receive a state from two sides, either from a React component or from an API. So overall, let's revise. The API is sending a new state towards the action, and action is sending this request to the reducer. If we talk about our React component, so our React component receives the global states from the store. And now if any component wants to manipulate any type of global state, then it will call a specific type of action. So this is the total setup of Redux store. And don't panic, I am going to guide you step by step of Redux store setup. Let's get started. So basically in Redux state management, we have all our states, basically the global states in a store. These states are stored by the reducers. Means the state of type 1 will be stored in reducer 1, the type 2 will be in reducer 2, and so goes on. The next question is how these reducers get the state. These reducers seek for a specific action to change or to make a new global state. And following this pipeline, the action can receive a state from two sides, either from a React component or from an API. So overall, let's revise. The API is sending a new state towards the action, and action is sending this request to the reducer. If we talk about our React component, so our React component receives the global states from the store. And now if any component wants to manipulate any type of global state, then it will call a specific type of action. So this is the total setup of Redux store. This is my advice for you guys. If you are feeling yourself too much confused, then don't be panic. Just take a screenshot of this image and take it side by side. During the tutorial, if any step you find yourself lost, then just visit this picture and clear your thoughts. Let's move on. So now to set up the Redux store in my application, I have to install some packages. So these packages are, first of all, I am going into the client folder and here install npmi redux thunk and react redux, like this. I have already installed this, therefore I am not pressing the enter button. But you can simply install them by writing npmi redux thunk, react redux, and so on. So after installing them, here I have to import a dispatch hook which is from the React Redux. So I am saying dispatch use dispatch, like this. I think I have to import it manually. Import use dispatch from React Redux. Okay. So here I have imported the hook and there is the instance of our hook. Now how I am going to use this? While submitting the form, now I can change these conditions as I predicted. Here I will say if data.password is equal to data.confirm pass. Okay, then dispatch our action as I have declared you in the visual of our React Redux, I mean in the image of our React Redux, that our component is interacting with the actions. So here I am going to interact with the action of our React Redux. I know we have not set up any type of actions and reducers and store, but let's follow me and see how I am going to make all of them step by step. So here I am going to dispatch an action of sign up that we are going to make, and I am sending the data of my form as a parameter. Now if the password and confirm password is not same, then I will say set the confirm password as false. So let's format the code, and here you can see, of course there is an error because we have no action of sign up. But before making the sign up action, let's first clear this logic. And else there is no sign up means our form is a login form. Then dispatch an action, and inside this action I am calling the login action, and here I am also sending the data. This is as simple as that. Now let's make our actions. So I'm closing all the directory inside the client, inside the src, make a folder with the name actions. Inside the action, here I am making another file auth action.js. Inside the auth action, I will say export const login. Let's first make the functionality of login, and the form data is as a parameter that I have received from our auth.jsx component, and this will be an async call to our Redux thunk. So therefore here I am writing dispatch, and then this is again a fat arrow function. I know this convention is little bit crazy, but you have to remember this every time making actions. So here we have to interact with our API, which will call an endpoint to our server for the login. So basically here if I write const, and I will receive data from my endpoint, and I will say await auth API that we have not made yet, and inside API call the login function and pass is the form data. So now we have no API to make this request. Let's make an API folder inside the src, and I'm just saying it as API, and inside the API I am making a file auth request.js. To work with the request, we have to install a package. So just here write npmi axios. This package is basically used to make requests to our server side. Before using the Axios, we have to make some changes in our package.json. Otherwise, our application will show errors. So I will go to my package.json, and here we have to declare a proxy for our server side. So I am saying the proxy means proxy is a type of URL that is accepted by our application to interact, because if we allow all the URLs to interact with our application, then there will be a lot of vulnerabilities. So to avoid this problem, here we have to declare a proxy inside the package.json, and our proxy is http and local host 5000, just as this. So it's very simple to add a proxy. Let's save the package.json. Now inside my auth request, here I am importing a package Axios from Axios, like this. Now I have to make a file for our API, and inside API I will say Axios dot create with the base URL of our proxy, which is the, so here I have given a base URL for our API, means every time we make a request then it will call our 5000 port number. Okay, now let's make a function for login. So here I will say export const login is equal to form data which we will receive from our action, and API will make a post request as we have made in our controller, and our path was the authentication part with a login endpoint, and here the data is as the request.body data. Till now our API request is completed for the login. Now I have to import this login inside my action. Let's save this, and inside the actions, now inside the authentication action I am importing these auth request as an API. So I will say import all as auth API from, I should go outside and then inside the API and then auth request, just simple as that. Okay, so now we have this function as we are interacting with the database. So here we should write a try catch block. So this is a try catch block, and I am making this request inside the try block, and of course as we have for the error will be console log error. But still there is something missing, that till now we have not interacted with our global state management, means the state that are in our store. As we know that to store the states in our store we have to interact with the reducers. So to interact with the reducer, before calling my API endpoint, here I will say dispatch a reducer with the type of authentication start. This means we are telling our reducer that authentication has been started, and after this here I will tell my reducer that the authentication has been completed. So authentication complete, or you can simply say as, which is a more general convention, authentication success, like this. And with the authentication success I will also pass the data of successfully authenticated, and in case of any error here I will again call my authentication reducer, and I will say as type authentication and fail. So this is a very simple scenario of our action, that first of all we are telling our reducer that authentication has been started. After receiving data from server side I am telling my reducer that authentication has been successful, and then I am telling if there is an error then authentication has been failed. It's time to make a reducer to handle these dispatch functionalities. But before making those reducers, first of all let's fix our authentication.js. As there is an error, so I am removing these 2 to 3 words and calling again sign up. So it should auto import, and there is an error that it is not auto importing sign up because we have not made sign up in our authentication actions. Okay, so this is natural, so login should work fine. So if I again write login, so here it is saying that login is available in authentication request and authentication actions, and we have to call it from authentication actions. So let's save this. Of course there will be an error for the sign up, so let's make an API request for the sign up function. So here I am just copying this and just pasting this, and here write sign up like this, and all the data should be same, and there I am just writing register because that was our endpoint. By the way, you can visit your endpoints again by going to Thunder client and here we have our all the request inside the auth request. This is our register request. So as you can see that this is auth register. So similarly here I have pasted the URL. Now let's make an action for the sign up. So I am just copying our login and here paste it like this. And now here instead of login I will say sign up.
Oh man, really? Am I that stupid? Damn it, dude. Why am I always so stupid? Oh man, why am I such an idiot, dude? How do I log out? How do I even log out? Damn it, no, I'm logged in, but I cannot log out. So if I refresh this, do I have 4 members? Oh man, I have 4 members now. Oh man, that's so sick, dude. That's so sick. I'm deleting this one. All of that doesn't make sense.
Like this, because here I am exporting all of my functions in the auth API as the stars, so they all are available. Now here instead of login I will write as sign up. So this is also going to be, let's save it, and here I am just auto importing it by writing sign up for the authentication actions. So now it's time to make our reducers that will be connected, as here we are interacting with our reducers by dispatching a specific type of actions, and we don't have.
I'm so stupid. So doing this, oh shit. Doing this should break the code, which should take me home to the out. No, it doesn't. Why am I clicking buttons that I know are not gonna work? I'm stupid. How am I gonna log out? Why am I logged in? Element. User.
Any reducers yet. So inside the src I am making another folder with the name reducers. Inside the reducers I am making a file with the auth reducer.js. In the auth reducer.js we will contain every data related to a user information. So here I will say auth reducer, and it will be a function that will carry a state, and inside the state first of all we have some authentication data, and by default it will be null, means at the start of application the loading of the data will be false.
I hate all these flies. Seriously, bro.
At the start, and error will be also false, just like this. So now with the state there will be also an action. This action basically will be telling us that which type of reducer we have called from the actions, and inside the reducers which type of action is called. So here I am making it an arrow function as we always do in our JavaScript. So just format the code. Okay, so here it is an error of the auth data because here I have put an equal sign. So now let's format the code again. Okay, now you can see it betterly. Now inside the function, first of all, I will make a switch statement, and this switch statement will be depend on action dot type. Okay, so inside the switch, first of all, I will make a case for authentication start. So here inside authentication start, I am just copying this string authentication start and pasting it here like this. So when authentication start action will start, then it will return our previous state. So I am just spreading it, making loading as true and error as false. And we should also make a default case, otherwise it will continue to give this yellow line. So by default it will return our state as it is inside our parameters, this one. Okay, so our second case was authentication successful. So I am again going to just copy this from here, authentication success, just copy this and paste it here, and it will return the previous state, and our auth data will be changed on success. Our auth data will be the new data that is carried in our action. So inside the action, it is carried inside the data key, because here inside the auth action we can see that we are sending our authenticated data as the data key member. So here I am receiving it from my action as action.data. Now loading will be false because we have successfully retrieved the data, and error will be also false. Let's format it again, and it's time to make our last state of reducer, which is the authentication fail. So to make this last state, here I will say case authentication fail inside the actions. I am just copying this, copy this and paste it here like this, and in this case I will simply return my previous state by spreading it, and the loading will be false because we have reached some endpoint, and error will be true because at this state we will only reach when there is an error from our server side. So error will be true. Let's save this. So now we have successfully made our authentication reducer. But there is one thing that we should do while making our authentication success, that as we are saving our data inside our authentication data key of our authentication reducer state, I will also save our authenticated data in my local storage. So for storing the data in local storage, I will say local storage dot set item, and item will be set with the key value of profile, and then json dot stringify our action dot data, as this is the data that is sent by our authentication action after a successful endpoint. We can also apply here a chain operator because we are not always sure that we have received our data. So therefore, if the data is available, then it will be stored in our local storage. So I should make a text small so it will be visible. Yeah, okay. So it is just enough. Now let's format the code again. Here you can see I am storing the data in my local storage, but the reducers are not just enough the files of different type, means the authentication reducer, post reducer. There is a common file of all the reducers from which the reducers are accessible inside the actions. So let's make it. Inside the reducers, I should again follow the directory. Here inside the reducers, we have to make an index.js. Okay, and this index.js is specified for all the reducers in our application. Here I am importing a package called combine reducers from Redux. Okay, this will combine all the reducers we have made in our project. Now I have to import my auth reducer. So I am auth reducer from I think so, yes, like that. I just think that we are not exporting our authentication reducer from auth reducer.js. Export default auth reducer. This is our basically the main function of authentication reducer, and let's save this. And now inside the index.js, after this I am making a common file for all the reducers and telling it as reducers simply, and then combine reducers, and inside the combine reducers let's include our authentication reducer. Now let's save this. Okay, it's time to make a store. Basically inside the store we will hold all our states. So here I am just closing src and I am making a new folder. Inside the store I am going to make a file which is the redux store.js. So inside redux store.js I am just simply pasting some code. Okay, so what is the purpose of this code and why I am not explaining this code line by line to you? Because every time you are going to make a redux store in your application, the code is going to be the same for every project. You may see many other type of methods to make redux store on YouTube and in many more blogs, but why I am using this such a long method? Because the bonus part of this is that with making the store available for our reducer, it is also making our reducer persisted. Mean whenever you refresh the page, your state will not be lost. They will be in your local storage. So I am going to give you an overview of this.
Hey, are you, I forgot the username. But I remember you. Yeah. I remember you. Yeah, McCloud. Sorry about forgetting the username, you know. But I remember you. McLeod, right? Yeah, McLeod. Yeah. How are you doing?
Code that first of all here I am importing some important packages from the Redux to make a store, and inside these packages there is an apply middleware package also, because we have to apply our Redux thunk middleware. Okay, so here I have imported my Redux thunk middleware for the asynchronous performance, and here all our reducers. Let's I double check that it is in the same directory
That's good.
reducers, and inside the reducer there is index.js. So yeah, this is all.
You want to come back? What do you mean? Yeah, you really should. You really should. Um, why would you be an atheist? How would they get you, dude? I don't understand what's so appealing about being an atheist. It's it's not that awesome, honestly. It's not that good. Like, I have experience being an atheist. I've been an atheist for years in my life. I don't get the appeal. Well, I get it if you love sin, but that's about it. I don't like sin anymore. It is depressing, yeah, yeah. It didn't help me, that's for sure. Well, that's because they have no higher standard to judge themselves by. If there is no God in your life, if there's no commandments in your life, then really are no morals, you know? There really are no morals without God. So, in accordance to that, you know, people like Hitler, they wouldn't be bad guys. because of the atheist standard, dude. And you know, I got this from I don't know if you know this guy. He's called Frank Turek, and he makes a lot of good videos. You know Frank Turek, dude? He's a great preacher and teacher and brother in the Lord. Yeah. He taught me a lot. Without him, you know, without God, there's no moral standards. There really isn't. It's complex for us, that's for sure. It could have been a Big Bang actually, because you know, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." So it could have been a Big Bang. Let there be light could have been a Big Bang. I see. I'm sorry to hear that you get banned from Discord, but there's not many fruits on there, honestly. I still haven't felt appeal to make a Discord again. It's just not my calling. Yeah, 1 through 3 verses. I've been traveling from church to church, just trying to see the difference and meeting different people in Christ, and you know, just going around church to church. Every Sunday, different church. Yep, 1 through 3.
All the way correct. Okay. After this, here we have function to save our states inside the local storage. So it is just serializing all of our data available in the store as we are passing it in a parameter and giving it to our local storage.
As you can tell, I've been moving to the next level. This is so hard. I'm not playing. This is really difficult.
And in the load from local storage, as it is obvious from the name, we are retrieving our data from the local storage. So now there is our enhancer, that is a method to make the.
And I messed things up. I logged into an account that doesn't even exist, and now I cannot return anymore. Now I can't return anymore. What am I doing with my life? Why is it messing up like this? I wanna cry. I wanna cry. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll fix it. I watched and listened to Greek philosophers. I achieved nothing. Well, you know, it's still nice to get different perspectives. You haven't, you know, you achieved something, and that's knowledge. You achieve knowledge, and knowledge is important.
store available for our Redux dev tools. And inside this line of code, I am making my store, as this is a very common function to make a Redux store. Here I have given my all the reducers where the states lie, and there is a persistent state of our local storage. And here I have applied my thunk middleware. Okay. Now our store is subscribing to our local storage, means every time there is a change in our store states, then the change will be reflected in our local storage. And finally, I am exporting my store. Now we have to make this store available for our application inside the project.
I mean, you don't have to immediately become an atheist or a nihilist when you're just researching stuff, when you're just exploring different perspectives, different worldviews. It doesn't immediately make you a nihilist or an atheist. What really is the issue is when you start denying Jesus Christ. Like, I do not, when you say the word that you do not know him, that's when the issue starts. But have you said that? Have you said, I do not know him? Have you said, I don't want to know him? Have you done that? Yeah, see, then the issue is not that big, dude. You haven't rejected Christ yet. Yes. You remember when it was Peter, right? I believe. I think it was Peter. Yes, you remember when Peter denied Jesus 3 times, and that's the problem. But we gotta understand that God is forgiving, and Jesus forgave Peter as well. It's important. He's, he's slow in anger. God is slow in anger. I have to, Peter's denial. I have to look at what it's. I mean, we are created with free will. That's in the Bible. What do you mean with absurdism? I think this stems from I think the whole deal about this is the purposeless part. That I think you're looking for a purpose or something, or you're looking for, I don't know, man. Maybe you're looking for like is it happier though? Or are they just pretending to be happy because they do crazy stuff? Like, you feel me? Like, look at Pride. Look at the Pride parade, right? All these people, all the people at Pride parade are doing crazy stuff and they look happy. But are they really happy though? I think we both know the answer, that they are not really happy. And that's That's my thing with life, with life. A lot of people are looking for happiness in doing things, getting a better job, getting more money, being, a sexual deviant. I know you're underage, but I gotta be straight up with you. Like, they do crazy stuff. They wanna do things. They wanna do wicked things to try and become happy. And this is my issue with like life. Like, I understand that I don't want to do crazy things to become happy, because when I stop doing those things, I would stop being happy and everything would fall apart. So I started looking for, the happiness in me without doing things, and that led me to Jesus Christ. I found Jesus Christ through seeking happiness inside me. At the end of the day, now at this point in my life, it doesn't matter what I do, because nothing will bring the joy that I feel through Jesus Christ inside me. Nothing external. The external world is meaningless at this point. Yeah, okay.
So to make this available, I am opening my index.js of client side. Okay, there are two methods to open these long directories by going manually, and there is an other method to search for the same file index.js. Okay, so let's close this and just enter Control P and write index.js. So here you can see I have found three index.js files, one from the server side, other from reducers, and this is from our client side, which is required file. So I am opening this. Now just remove this comma and here write a provider, and this is a method of our React Redux, and here it is providing a store which is coming from our Redux store file. So just close this component, and here I have to wrap all of my app
Welcome back.
inside this. Okay, let's format it. Now let's save and see if our app is crashed or working fine. So let's try to make a request for the server for register a new user. Let's say John, and here the username is john@gmail.com, password simply John, and then the password John. Let's sign up and see our network tab. So okay, there is an error already, the Axios error. Let's see in the network, and I'm going to send the request again, sign up, and here is the our request, why it is failed. So it is saying strict origin when cross origin. So the solution of this problem, I am going to index.js of my server side. Here I am going to install a package. So I am opening a new terminal and going to server side. Here write npm I course. Course basically allow us to send requests through the cross origins. Means we are sending requests from the port 3000 to the port 5000. Let's wait till it. it installs. So here it is installed now. Here just below the .env I am importing the course from the course, so just like this. And now I am configuring my app to use this course, so I will say app dot use the course policies. So let's save this and our server should restart. To restart my server, here I am deciding rs, it will restart my server, so let's just wait. Okay, so now it is listening. Let's try to send our request again and I will clear all of my network requests. Now let's send it again, sign up. And here you can see our request has been successfully delivered to our server and the response is and the response can be seen in the final request inside the preview. Here you can see a new user has been returned from the server.
So it's a reducer thing.
and here you can see the I just simply write request dot have to log in again. Okay, we cannot simply just use this string as openly in our controller. We should store it in our .env file. So expected, and now inside the application for the profile we have a token and a user data, and same for our authentication store. Inside the authentication reducer, authentication data has two values. This means we have made a successful deployment of our token verifying. It's time to implement our JWT, means JSON Web Token Authentication. So for to implement JSON Web Token Authentication, I am installing a package inside my server directory here. So I will install npm I JSON Web Token. So it will take some time, let's wait. Okay, here it is installed now. Now I should import the JWT from the JSON Web Token. Import JWT from JSON Web Token, and it's time to make a token. After saving a new user, here I am making a token, and for the token I'll say jwt.sign, and for the signature it will use the username of the newly registered user. So it will be available in the user.username, and from where we can get.
It does have a logout function. It's in the authentication actions. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Why not? Wait, where does he
This
make
new
this?
user, so I should of user. Okay, so this dispatch and one API. So inside the line should be only calling, not call, to fetch some data from our API. So I will say user API dot get user, and I will give the profile user ID as link towards the profile and after profile, and there I have two dependency pen. Here if we look in the UI, this pen icon is used to open the model, and this will make no sense when we are going to see the profile of another user on our social media application.
Okay, so I
It's
need to
time
continue
to
here.
fix this profile card for the home page. So now I am going to the profile card section. So profile card.jsx. Okay, so here we are on the home page, and therefore I am just making the profile page very constant as false. So it will render its home page version. Okay, because we have here made some conditions to render differently on the profile page and the home page, and of course we are going to make it dynamic by routing and logics. But first let's make it false, and this is our home page version of card. So let's fix this for the home page. So first of all, we have here cover image and profile image, but we have to extract our user information from the Redux store. So again I will say const user is equal to the, I think so now you are used of this logic, that how we are going to fetch the data from the Redux store, and how we are using in different components, and how it is making.
Import use selector from React Redux. Oh, yeah, I know.
Making our life very easy. Okay, so inside the state, let's make the state.auth reducer.auth data. Okay, like this. And now inside the src I will say if the user dot
Inside the src of the profile image, if the user dot
cover picture like this. If it is available, then what to do? Then again,
hold on. If the user dot cover
just to make the similar logic, have to fetch from the server side, and instead of writing the whole process.env again and again, what I will do here, I am just make a constant with the name server public folder. Okay, the server public will be enough, and it will be process.env.react. Just simply copy the name instead of writing this. So copy this from here and I am pasting it here.
Hey man, I don't have that. Oh man, that sucks.
Let's save, and now I'm saying user dot cover picture is available, then use the server public plus user dot cover picture, which is the name of cover picture. And if it is not, then I have pasted two images inside the images folder of server. This is the default profile picture and this is the default cover picture, so I am going to use them. Okay, if it is not available the cover picture, then use the default picture. So I will say server public default and cover. Let's save this, and now okay, we are not printing our default cover. Let's say see the name again here if I mistaken it. Okay, default cover dot jpeg. Let's see dot jpeg. Now save, and here we have our default cover picture rendering successfully. Similar type of logic I have to apply for the profile picture, so I'm just copying this from here and pasting it like this, and instead of cover picture now it should be the profile picture. So profile picture picture, and there's also default profile. So default profile. Now let's save this. Okay, again it's not rendering because let's see the name again. This is the default profile.png. this is only a typo in the names of our images. So let's save this and I'm closing this, and here we have our default profile. I should also apply this logic on our share section for this image. So I am going to the share post share.jsx, and that was our profile image. So I am just removing this and copying the same logic from here. Okay. So
Bro.
just copy this and pasting it here and making the same variable inside the post share section. So let's make it on the top. Okay, let's save this, and here we have our default profile picture. It's time to set up this number for the
Man. That sucks. That sucks. User is not defined. Server public is not defined. User is not defined. Server public is not defined. Okay, maybe I should just go back here and follow this along. Although I'm not even able to go in there, but whatever, dude.
it's time to implement our share component logic, because I want when a user is login and he or she tries to share some kind of photo like this and press the share button, then the photo will be added to its timeline and then we further move on. So I am going to the VS Code and here open the share. Okay, so the post share.jsx. Here, first of all, just go to the image section where we are setting our image inside the state hook. So where this image, okay, this is the image that we are setting in our use state hook image. So I am just removing this URL dot create object from there, and let's remove the braces, and I am making this URL object image directly on the image of the preview. So here I will simply say the URL, and then as we know that there is no image. So yes,
Oops.
basically I should remove this object type scenario, okay, because I found a little handy that set image directly to the image, and here I am converting this image into the use state for create object URL, so it will be visible. Let's check this by selecting a photo, and here it is. Okay, so after this we should make a functionality for uploading a new post. Okay, so this is our button of share. On click, let's handle the submit. Okay, so
Button. Post button. Post button. On click equals handle submit.
so let's make a handle submit. Here let's make const handle submit, and the arrowhead function means the fat arrow function, and I am receiving event parameter here and prevent default because I do not want to redirect to another page on clicking this button. And after this I am going to make a type of post that will be acceptable on the server side. So if I go to the post model, okay, so that was a post model the server. Here you can see we have a user ID, a description, some likes, and an image. So by following this type of convention, here I am making a new post to upload on the server, and it will contain a user ID. The user ID is going to be the ID of user that is logged in. So to fetch the user, I will say const just pick up the user and again use the use selector hook, and then from the state fetch the state of our authentication reducer. Okay, so authentication reducer dot auth data. As we are destructuring our user, so we can simply use here user dot id. Okay, why it is user ref, I don't know. Okay, and the description, because description is a necessary for making a post, but still we have no use state hook for fetching the description. Let's I am using the use ref of our React. So how I am going to use this? Here I will make a const description, and it is using use ref. So yes, use ref. Now I will give its reference to our input. Where is our input? This is our input. Here I am going to give a reference. Which is of description, and to ensure its availability I am going to make it required necessary. Let's format our whole code. Okay, so let's see here. Now we can use description dot current dot value. Okay, like this. Now I should check if the user also want to upload an image. Okay, so I am saying if image contains some type of data or simply the image is true, then make a constant data which is going to use the form data function. It is a very common function. You can see its documentation on the internet. Okay, after this let's make the file name of that image according to the current date plus the image dot name. So basically why I am doing all this stuff, as you know, in the documentation of MongoDB they say themselves that storing the images or any kind of media in the MongoDB database is not a good choice. You have to make a separate strategy to store the images and any kind of media. So in such scenario, we generally use a third-party cloud-based service like the AWS, and there is also Firebase, a very popular. But for this tutorial, we are going to make it simple. I will store all of the multimedia in my server local storage, and then when someone wants to fetch the data, I will just simply call the name of that image from the local storage and display it on the UI. So for that stuff, here I am making all this code that if the image is in the user's post, then make the file name of that image according to the current date and the image name, and this date basically store the time and the date. And the time is even precise to the second, so there will be no two images having the same name. Okay, after I will say data dot append, and the name will be according to the file name that we have made, and data dot append file will be the image that we have selected, and new post dot image. Okay, so why I'm saying here the image, because inside the model we have the name image. The image will be the file name. I'm just storing the file name because here you can see I have only the string type. Okay, let's say console dot log new post. At this point I want to console log my new post. Let's save this and try to refresh. I know it's hot reload, but still let's see our console. Inside the console, now I put the share button, and here is our new post which is having a description, image, user id. Okay, let's make some kind of description. Let's share again, and now there is a description, image, and the user id. Time to make the functionality for uploading both the image and the post data. So first of all, let's just consider the image. So here I am making a try catch block because now the call will be interacting with the server directly. So dispatch an event of, so dispatch, and why the auto suggestion is always teasing me. Okay, dispatch the upload image action which will contain this data. Okay, because now the data have a file name and the image, and if there is an error then simply just console log the error. It's time to make the action for upload image. So inside the client side, let's first close all thing, and src, there is our actions. I am going to make upload action.js. Inside upload actions.js, export const upload image which will receive the data, and again for the redux thunk make it async dispatch, and again the arrowhead. Let's try and catch block. In case of any type of error, simply I want to see the details of errors. So there is an error, and inside the try I will say await. There should be an upload API inside which there should be a function of upload image which will carry the data of our image. Now it's time to make an API for upload image function. So let's close inside src, inside API. Here I am saying upload request.js. Here I have to just copy this thing like Axios and the base URL. So let's close this now, and so now I'm in upload request, paste it here, and I'm going to make const upload image will be equal to data and API dot post to the upload path in our server with the data. It's time to make an endpoint in our server to upload an image, but let's fix the previous files. So inside the upload actions, import the upload image as import static as upload API from API and then the upload request. Okay, now let's save this and import this here. So okay, let's see. Upload image will be equal to data and API dot post to the upload path in our server with the data. It's time to make an endpoint in our server to upload an image, but let's fix the previous files. So inside the upload actions, import the upload image as import static as upload API from API and then the upload request. Okay,
And
now
your
let's
name,
save this
Benji.
and import this here. So okay, let's see from where it is imported. Yeah,
Okay, I see. From upload actions.
from the action. It's okay.
It's
Let's see,
okay.
there is an error. Okay, there is still an error that upload image was not found inside the upload request. Let's see why inside the upload request. Okay,
It's not found in upload.
I have to export it. Okay, so
Oh yeah. What?
export const. Now let's see. Okay, dispatch is not defined. So because I have not made the dispatch hook available.
In the new post.jsx.
So const dispatch will be equal to use dispatch like this. Let's save. Okay, now there is no error. We can simply move to our server side. So now I am going to the index.js of our server side. So here inside the index.js. Okay, here I will make a route for uploading the image, but before importing the route here, first I have to define the route. So
server side.
So inside the routes, I am making another file with the name upload route.js. Okay, so here first of all import the express from the express server and then make a instance of router. So express dot router. Now we have to install a package to make the image uploading on the server. So here I am in the server directory and here write npm I multer. So multer is basically a package that makes us a very easy and handy to upload the multimedia on the server side. Let's wait for its installation. Here it is installed. Okay, so now here I am importing the multer. Import multer from multer like this. I'm going to paste some code like this. So why I have just pasted this code? Because the code that is going to remain always same in your
Yeah, it's gonna be always the same, but I don't have the code, dude. Images. File name. Require file CB. I don't know what that is, but whatever. CB. It's equal to null. It's requiring the body name. And then const upload equals multer storage from storage.
project, I just copy and pasting them. There is no use to explain them one by one, or you can say word by word. So basically I am going to give you an overview that first of all it is subscribing our disk storage with the destination of public images. So let's make this destination inside the server. I am making a folder with the name public. Public is basically
New folder. Public. Yes.
basically a folder that is openly available for the public to use or for the users. You can also understand it as a CDN. We can store here videos, images, and we can use it for our local storage purpose. And inside this I am making, so the folder is going to be the images. So we can use it to upload our images, and here is our destination, and the file name will be the request.body.name because we are sending it as if we remember here inside the where is our action. Let's make it by control P, upload actions. Here we are sending the data, and inside the API so you can say we are sending the data as a post method in our HTTP request. So we are using the same method for receiving in our multer. Let's go again to the route, upload route. Yeah, here. Okay, let's define the route. Here I will say router.post means it is receiving by the post method. Upload.single, it is a middleware provided by the multer, and the file, then the request and response, the arrowhead function. And here right inside a try catch block, if there is any type of error, then console log the error, otherwise send the response. So return response dot status with the status code of, and inside the message I will say file uploaded successfully, like this. Okay, it's time to make this router available inside our index server. So here I will say import. Let's see if I have exported. Okay, first of all here export default router. Okay, now inside the index.js import upload route.
Upload route from routes, upload route dot js, and then app dot use.
Out from the routes folder, and then the upload route dot js, and then at the end we should say app dot use. When someone is calling the upload route, then go for our upload route. So upload route here. Okay, so our all the configuration is completed. Now it's time to test it. Okay, so here is our application. I am selecting an image, let's say this, and send this. Now I should see in my images.
What do you mean crashed? Error, cannot find module, social media project, server, routers, upload route .js. What are you talking about? Cannot find the module. It's right here, bro. I don't even know what you mean, dude. What are you talking about, dude? Let's try it again. Upload route, and then import upload route from routes upload route. Oh wait, it's suggesting it. Upload. There you go. Okay, now you work. Okay.
Here we have an image. Okay, inside the server means our multer is working very fine. It's time to upload the post data with the images. So let's close these upload routes here and go to our share post. Okay,
Share post. So for me, that's new post. Bonus, new post.
share post share.jsx. So here I am inside the post share.jsx, and
Let me look at it real quick. Your scenery. upload image, use dispatch, use selector. See, there you go. That's what I need. Import, use dispatch, and use selector from React index. Server public is not defined.
And we have made our image uploading successful by using this dispatch. Okay,
Image, data append, new post, image, equals file name, try and catch the dispatched upload image, the data, which is carrying the data. Server public is not defined on line 51. Line 51, server public is not defined.
and this condition of image uploading was started here and ended here. After this, I have to dispatch an action.
After what? After the const dispatch an action
For upload the post data, and post data will contain basically a description, image name, and the user ID. And so let's upload the data like this, and basically this data is lying inside the new post. So here I can write new post because
upload post, new post,
inside new post with a user ID, description, and the image name. Okay, it's time to make an action. So I will go to the upload action. There are upload action and
upload action, action, upload action.
here I am making export const upload post, and then upload post will contain some kind of data, async dispatch, and then after dispatching there should be a try catch block because we have to interact with our database. Inside error there will be console log error. Okay, the new post will be returned from our controller, which should be upload API dot upload post, and it is containing basically the data. Basically it is not a controller, it is our request and controller on the server side. Let's double check if our controller is returning the new.
Yeah, hold on, bro. Come on now. Oh my goodness, stop. What are you doing?
Newly made post. So post controller, and here we are creating new post, and it is only returning the string created in
Post controller. Post controller. Okay, that's in my thing. Post controller, here it is.
post created. So instead of just returning this string here, I should write
And upon save, we're gonna
new post like this. Let's save it, and our server is starting. Let's hope. Okay, so now it is
New post from what? New post from what? From Mongoose? From my components? Let's just assume from the components. Actually, let's double check. I don't want to mess this up because this is gonna be a pain in the ass if I, make a mistake here. So, source. Wrong folder. We need to go into the server side, into the controllers, post controller. Okay, so see, this is why we can't have nice things. It needs to be from Mongoose.
started. After this, I am just closing this, and here the new post will be returned after successful, and we have to dispatch our reduce
At the upload action. Dispatch. That's gonna be curl.
user. The type of this user will be upload successful, so just upload success. And similarly, I also have to make a dispatch here, and here I will say upload start like this. And similarly, upload this reducer should also be dispatched here, and here I should say
Upload fail.
just the upload fail like this. It's time to make the reducer for our post. So inside the reducers here
Okay, reducers, which is in here.
I will make a new file which will say as post reducer.js. Inside post reducer.js const post reducer, and it will carry the state inside the parameters. So by default the state will contain post as null and loading as false.
Post as null. Loading as false.
And similarly error also false, and uploading will be also another key. At the start it will be also false. After this there will be our second parameter action. Okay, it's time to define
State. And then another parameter. Action. I wonder, is this what I need to do? Yeah, it is.
define the function. So for the Doug function
Action. Wait, what? Oh, I see. Gotcha. Wait, no, I don't have you. Perhaps like this. Action. I do not understand.
here I will make a switch as we have also made in our authentication reducer, and it will depend upon action dot type. So in this switch I will say case if the case is upload successful. So just copy this, string, paste it here, and I'll say in this case return our previous state by spreading it and loading as true. And let's say it's not loading, it's uploading true. So uploading as true and error as false. Now there should also be a default case, so I will say by default it should return the previous state like this. Okay, the second case when the upload is successful, so upload success should also be copied. I'm just copy and pasting strings so we can avoid any type of typo. So return state, and here I have to manipulate my post, so I will say the post. Okay, so the post will be an array, and the first member of this array will be our newly made post, which will be available inside the action dot data, and then separate the previous post. So state dot post, the uploading should be false because no action is completed, and error should also be false. Okay, let's turn on the word wrap. It's time to make our last case, which is the upload fail. So again go to the action, here we have upload fail, and just paste this here. Now return the previous state, and in this case our uploading should also be false and error should be true. Okay, let's save this. It's time to include this post reducer in.
I need to look at that post reducer. It's in the client side. Post reducer. Let's see here. So that is not a necessity then. What? How does that work? Oh yeah, I see. The type annotations can only be used in PostScript. What are you telling me? What are you telling me, dude? What the heck? Why? Is it all because of that? No, it's not. It's not. Doesn't make any sense. What? Oh, I see. I got you. This does need to be enabled.
Side our index.js of reducers. Here I am importing, and let's say if I am exporting it, no, I am not exporting it. Export default post reducer. Yes, let's save this inside index.js, import this as import post reducer and add it into our reducers, because it is used for combining all the reducers in our global state. So post reducer, let's save it. Okay, so basically our action is completed, but let's see if we have our upload post API, because we have not made it yet. And here make an endpoint. Okay. Okay, so export const upload post with the data, and it will be API dot post, and it will be directed towards the post, because inside the index.js of our server. Okay, index.js on the server side have a route of post, and is a post route, so I am declaring the post string which will carry our data. Let's save this, and there is no error on the server side. Our client is also running fine.
upload post is not defined. Server public is not defined.
And it's time to test. Okay, so there is an error basically on the server that cannot read properties of undefined state inside the post reducer. So basically there is an error with our state. Let's see why this is happening. Okay, inside the post reducer. Okay, this should not be inside an object. Okay, they are the independent parameter. Now let's see again. Okay, let's clear all the errors from the console, and I am trying to upload a photo, and let's say new glasses. Let's upload this. And okay, state.post is not iteratable. Let's see why. If I have received a network, inside network, okay, a post has been returned successfully, then why it is saying the post state.post is not iterable. Let's see why it's happening. So error was inside the upload action, that while dispatching our upload success reducer, I was not sending the new
In the upload action.
data. So here I should say the new post data should be send it to our post reducer, and here our all the logic is same. So and basically I have changed it to an array instead of the null. Because it's making more sense. Okay, so now what I'm going to, I'm just deleting all the memory all the application, clear the console, and let's try to log in again. So let's go to login, and here john@gmail.com, John, let's sign in, and I'm going to upload this. So basically there is an error with our state. Let's see why this is happening. Okay, inside the post reducer. Okay, this should not be inside an object. Okay, they are the independent parameter. Now let's see again. Okay, let's clear all the errors from the console, and I am trying to upload a photo, and let's say new glasses. Let's upload this. And okay, state.post is not iteratable. Let's see why. If I have received a network, inside network, okay, a post has been returned successfully, then why it is saying the post state.post is not iterable. Let's see why it's happening. So error was inside the upload action, that while dispatching our upload success reducer, I was not sending the new data. So here I should say the new post data should be send it to our post reducer, and here our all the logic is same. So and basically I have changed it to an array instead of the null, because it's making more sense. Okay, so now what I'm going to, I'm just deleting all the memory. all the application, clear the console, and let's try to log in again. So let's go to login, and here john@gmail.com. John, let's sign in, and I'm going to upload this new image, and let's say, okay, let's close this, never. Okay, let's say this as hat and share this. Now inside the console there is no error, and inside our application post reducers have a post. Okay, and now let's try to make an other post. So just like new profile, let's share this, and here inside the post reducers I have two posts now, so that means this is working very fine. It's time to make some changes, that after uploading a post, this section should be cleared and this input field should be cleared, and our share button should also behave according to our server response. So what I am going to do, first of all, inside the post share, here I am going to say const loading is equal to use selector. So use selector the state dot post reducer basically, and then dot uploading, that was a key inside the post reducer. Here you can see uploading, and we are changing it during the post upload. So okay, here is true, false, and now false. Okay, so here I'm retrieving it, and now inside my button, loading is equal to use selector. So use selector the state dot post reducer basically, and then dot uploading, that was a key inside the post reducer. Here you can see uploading, and we are changing it during the post upload. So okay, here is true, false, and now false. Okay, so here I'm retrieving it, and now inside my button, this is my button, here I will say the